trustee and recent board chairman, is a tireless proponent for education in Wyoming. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Toby Johansson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you don't mind that my speech is about 40 pages long. However, I did use a big font. Seriously, though, I'd like to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to the senior class and the community as a whole. I know there's many in the audience that are visiting friends and family, so I'll explain what I mean. 6 months ago today, my daughter was driving to school and she hit a patch of ice, went off an embankment and suffered a severe traumatic brain injury. Through the use of several miracles and a lot of hard work, she's here with us today. After making almost a complete recovery, she's going to graduate with the rest of her class. This community really came together and helped us in our time of need. I don't know how it would have been without your love and support, and I want you to know how truly grateful you are. Thank you. I don't know if you remember when you asked me to speak here today, but I was so surprised. As a matter of fact, I was actually speechless, which rarely happens for me. Of course, I said yes, and to say that I'm honored to be included in this chapter of your lives doesn't convey the gratitude that I feel. It was about a day later that it dawned on me, I have to write a speech. I'm not the most accomplished person. What could I possibly have to offer you? When I stopped thinking about what I'm not and started thinking about what I am, it was then that I started to realize that I would talk about learning. I'm not just talking about a formal education. I'm referring to lifelong learning, the thirst for knowledge. Our happiness in life is largely based on two major things: our ability to form deep, meaningful relationships, and finding fulfillment in our jobs and our life. The difficult thing about both of these is that it looks different for everyone. However, the pursuit of happiness has always been one of the most basic needs. So much so that Thomas Jefferson wrote it into our Declaration of Independence. One of the easiest ways of finding fulfillment and meaning is through education, which is why I try to be an advocate for learning. Over the past 6 months, I've learned a lot about the brain and the way that we learn. Our brain is filled with neurons, and as we learn new things, these neurons build neural pathways. The more we do the thing that we learn, the larger the pathway gets, and the easier it is to do. When we try something new, this process starts all over again. This can sometimes be painful, because we're used to doing it the other way. But this is also how we grow. Several years ago, I heard a quote: all people have the opportunity to become absolutely nothing. And when I first heard that, I thought, what a negative way to think about things. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that this can also be a motivation. If we don't try something new, we are not going to go any further than where we are right now. Over the years, I'm sure you've had a lot of people asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? Guidance counselors, teachers, parents, various other people still asking. And in elementary school, it seems kind of absurd to come up with an answer, especially one that's going to dictate the rest of your life. Really, I'm not entirely certain what I want to be when I grow up. I enjoy what I do right now, but that may change someday. The real reason most people ask is because they realize that you must try something, or you go no further than where you are right now. Quite a few years ago, I decided I wanted to become an aircraft mechanic. They call it airframe and power plant mechanic. So I joined a vocational program. As a part of this program, you have to take several classes and work on avionics, which are aircraft electronics. By taking these classes, I realized that I liked electronics and technology, so much so that I decided to drop out of the program and went on to study communications electronics. I would have never learned any of this had I not decided to just try something. On an interesting side note, I would have never met my amazing wife had I not gone to that school. So how does this apply to you? The easy answer? Go do something. Don't sit around and wait for something to come along. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail. The fear will always be there. As a matter of fact, I'm scared right now. We live in an era where I will be judged by everyone on social media, and I'm sure this speech is going to end up on YouTube. And all of this is, quite frankly, terrifying. However, we cannot let the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or the fear of comparison from stopping you from becoming the person that you should be. And you'll fail. Failure is inevitable. You'll make mistakes, but that's how you learn. Michael Jordan once said, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take a game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Basically, what he's trying to say is that failure can be a positive thing because it gives you a chance to learn. And if you choose to continue your education at college, you can actually learn from other people's mistakes, so you don't have to make them on your own. In conclusion, go out and try something. Even if you're scared that it might not be the right thing, you cannot succeed without the risk of failure. You cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and take these